Hey guys, Tymptra here with a quick review of EA's Star Wars Battlefront 2 for all of you. I've been playing the multiplayer off and on for a while, and I've just beat the campaign recently, so I decided to make a video about the game. I wasn't around for its controversial release, but if you're like me and browse various gaming and Star Wars related content on Reddit and YouTube, you've probably seen people talking about how this game has made a massive improvement over the last few years. Some of you may be wondering, Tymptra, why is a handsome man like you reviewing this game 3 years after it was released? Good question, student. Because I have a microphone, a YouTube channel, and a willingness to blast my takes and opinions, which are never wrong, to anyone who can hear. So anyway, let's start off with the campaign. It was fun, but nothing really to write home about. Not something I would ever personally replay. Both the regular and Resurrection campaigns combined only took me about 7 hours. And this was good because a lot of the gameplay was very repetitive, especially in the missions where you play as Iden Versio and the space and flying missions. In these cases, the gameplay pretty much stays the same the whole way through. Despite getting weapons and new abilities for her, none of these significantly make shooting the brain dead enemies much more fun. You could play the whole campaign easily by never changing your weapons. This is even worse in the fighter missions because you can't even change your loadout. Not to mention that the controls in the flying missions are just terrible. I had to double my mouse sensitivity because it felt like my ship was fighting against me the whole time. This isn't helped much by the fact that the difficulty levels basically just change how much damage you do and take, so there isn't much point in playing above medium, since it's only an artificial difficulty spike. The AI just run at you while shooting for the most part. Sometimes they take cover and do stuff like deploy turrets, but for the most part the game just relies on throwing large numbers of enemies at you for difficulty. They even spawn enemies behind you pretty much when they need to. Playing on hard difficulty wasn't even fun because there were moments when you would just get blasted down with nothing you could really do. The missions where you get to play as a hero character, however, were far better. Because when you're a hero character, you have much more powerful and interesting abilities, so having dumb cannon fodder enemies with poor tactics isn't actually that bad because you can basically just go ham on them. The story was okay, but honestly, it was just a way to move the character from location to location to fight different enemies in different places and different eras with different weapons and characters. It's not bad, but there were only 2 moments emotionally that stood out, so I would say it's like a 4 out of 10, not egregious, but slightly below average. Lastly, I feel like they respected the movie characters that they portrayed. Leia, Luke, Lando, Han, and Kylo all felt accurate to their movie counterparts. That might seem like shallow praise, but a lot of recent Star Wars media has taken to portraying these characters strangely, to say the least, so I felt like this was worth mentioning. While the campaign does not seem to have gotten much better since release, which is kind of to be expected, they don't usually get updated, the real bread and butter of the game, the multiplayer, is a whole different story. And based on it, I still think I can recommend this game, and I think it's relevant and worth a buy if you're a Star Wars fan. The microtransactions that played the game at launch seem to have been removed. Just by passive play, I've got enough cosmetics to make me, admittedly someone who already doesn't care about them really, pretty happy. All I care about is making my clones look cool, and I can. I'm not really going to talk about any of the Starfighter stuff in the multiplayer. If you want to play a Starfighter game, you should play Star Wars Squadrons. I mainly play Galactic Battles and Supremacy, because I'm coming from a more Battlefield background and I enjoy the large-scale objective-based gameplay. The game is very chill. It's not a game I would take competitively, even as an FPS. It just lets you experience the battles of Star Wars that you wish you could have experienced as a kid. It looks and sounds amazing, so you can really just get sucked into the game. Whether it's leading a charge of clones on Geonosis, slashing through rebel scum as Vader, or just being naturally talented as Rey, you're immersed in a pure Star Wars experience. The only thing that might take away from this is the fact that heroes from other eras can be used in battles, but that is some neckbeard stuff to be worried about, honestly. Playing this game, I must say I'm impressed with how balanced the heroes are in multiplayer. Naturally, when you see gameplay of a guy playing a regular trooper getting owned by a Sith or Jedi, you might question whether that is fair. However, while a regular trooper alone is easy prey for a hero character, this is balanced by the fact that they are limited, and thus everyone has the strength in numbers to defeat the heroes. You can't run into a bunch of enemies as a hero and expect to survive. If you're looking for an easy win button, these characters aren't it. I actually kind of suck at using them and need to practice a lot more. The best players actually play smart and use hit and run tactics with heroes, since most of them are much more mobile than your average soldier. They're also balanced by the fact that spawning them in, you need battle points which are earned through playing as a regular soldier anyway, so you dying as a regular soldier costs way less than it would for a hero to die. Not to say that there are things that aren't balanced, just that they don't stick out to me like a sore thumb or ruin my experience while playing the game. Except for the BB-8 heroes, those little shits are impossible to hit, so it's just not fun running into them. At least I can do a little damage to the other heroes like Anakin Skywalker before I die. I also dislike how some of the multiplayer maps like Crate and Geonosis are so one-sided. For example, I've never seen the CIS win on Geonosis. Likewise, on Crate, the First Order always manages to escort their walkers to the base and move on to the second objective. I've never seen the walkers be taken out. I know it's too late to expect map balance, but I just wanted to point this out. My last criticism is related to the menu UI. It's really annoying how when I'm leveling up my ability cards, I have to watch this little animation play out every time. Just let me dump the points in and stop wasting my time. Also, when it comes to unlocking weapons, it says unlocked with milestone, and you need to go to the milestone tab to find the specific milestone it is to see what you need to do to unlock it. Just make it say on the locked weapon tab what I need to do. Don't send me on a scavenger hunt for that basic information. Despite the lackluster campaign, overall I would say that the game is worth it, especially if you are a huge Star Wars fan. But get it on sale. It still has players, but after 3 years, you shouldn't be buying a game whose main draw is multiplayer at full price. You never know when it's going to reach the end of its life and people are just going to drop it, or if there's going to be a new game coming out soon. It's $26.99 on Origin or $51.99 on Steam, where for some reason you have to buy the Celebration Edition. If you're interested, I would not buy the $50 version and just get the EA Play subscription or wait for a sale. I think I got my copy on Origin for about $5. As a final thought, I would like to commend EA for sticking with the game and continuing to drop content updates as well as fixes to the things that the community found so odious, and thereby improving the game to its current state. Hopefully many lessons were learned from the whole debacle in the first place, and it can be avoided in the future. Well, that's it for me, guys. I don't really have much else to say except that I'm proud of myself for making a video that is under 15 minutes long. I hope you found this review helpful, and if you did, remember to like, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Tymptra out.